Hey everybody, and welcome to AJS News. We're going to go over all of the gaming news that happened last week.
Sure are, but first, a word from our sponsors.
What are you doing? Are you filming? Dude, stop. You're a piece of shit.
That was nice.
It was real nice.
Okay, good. I don't know how these keep getting done, but they happen, and
We
did it.
You leave and then we film stuff.
Yeah. Guys, so AJS AngryJoeShow update. We are working on an Angry review. I know it's been a long time, been like 2 months. There was a bit of a drought, and then also, some live stuff happened. But we're getting back into the swing of things. It's taking me a little longer to edit, just get back into everything. So the first game we are reviewing is Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3, which is a Switch exclusive, and not many people are going to watch it because it's only one console. But hey, that's not the point. The point is we really like the older games, and we want to see if the newer game is worth it. And hey, maybe you might pick up a Switch if you like it or something. So stay tuned for our review on that. I think I'll probably have it done by the end of the week. It should be done by the end of the week. So let's get to the news.
All right, we'll jump into the old retail whipping boy GameStop. We got some news this week. They finally announced what they're going to try to do because they're
adding go-karts and carnival prizes.
Laser tag. And
laser
I'm there. I'm there.
Well, they're working with a company called RGA to kind of reevaluate what they offer as far as retail space. So they have a huge retail footprint in the United States, and they want to add some other things. They want a reason for people to come in and hang out. So they're going to add CRTs so you can sit down and play some games. They're going to have more demo stations, and they're not going to do it for all of them, but for the chosen markets, which honestly will probably be here in Texas and definitely in the United States. They're going to try a bunch of different things. Some will be actually retro gaming only, so they're probably going to bring in some arcade cabinets and some other things. They just want you to show up to GameStop and hang out, kind of like the local board game store where you buy something off the shelf and you sit down and play it.
Net cafe kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they monetize it, but I mean they've got to do something. So at time of recording, their stock is $4.12.
I'm giving them props
right
now. They're
$4.
Yeah, when we
what wasn't it at something at
12.
like 12 last time we talked about them, which was not too long
a couple
ago?
months ago. I mean,
okay.
they're a company
they're scratchy, man. They're trying anything right now.
They're hurting right now. So $4 is really low. Their historic low from 2003 is $3.96. So we're almost there. So we're almost down to the point where
sell your stocks. Sell.
Right now, I mean, there's almost nowhere to go but up from here. So, we're curious to see what they want to do. But I'm curious to see what they're going to do. I mean, there's a GameStop. There's 2 GameStops within like a mile of here, and there's 2 GameStops within like a mile probably.
But they're in the mall. I don't see how much you can remodel in.
That's what sucks too. Like nobody really goes to the mall anymore either.
Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do. Hopefully, I mean, they may just close those shops. Those may not be the retro ones that people go into. It may just be the standalone like strip mall locations that get the treatment. But hopefully it goes well for them. I mean, they want to focus on esports and some other things as well. So I don't know if they're going to do viewing parties or if they're going to try to do like local tournaments. Yeah. But I've been places where like
local tournaments would be cool. Esports stuff. I mean, they dabble a little bit in that already, but it seems like the managers have to kind of do that on their own and stuff like that. I've seen cool GameStops and I've seen GameStops that don't do that shit.
Yeah.
So I personally am not really big into esports, but competing against other gamers on a local level, that seems like it might attract some more people.
It could be fun. I mean, it depends on how they structure things. Yeah, Smash is the big one. People still carrying around their old TVs in their cars just so they can play.
They can have an awesome tournament and then be like, all right, grand prize winner gets
Skittles.
$5.
Yeah.
$5 for GameStop.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn it, you can't even do that right.
Yeah. Increase trade-in values and maybe people will start buying stuff. But they're increasing their exclusives and stuff as well that we saw with Shenmue, that they're going to try to lure you in and say, look, rather than buy this online and get almost nothing, you come in and we'll give you coins. I don't know who wants those, but somebody, right? Someone's got to want those things.
Collectors.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, onto the next story we got is actually kind of a slow developing story. A little over a week ago, there was a very popular Reddit thread in the Switch subreddit where a user was talking about the problems that he's having with joystick, what they call it, the Joy-Cons, the drift. So do you remember?
Place the Joy-Con on its side. Yeah, I've had my own issues with Joy-Con.
So he posted the comment, 25,000 upvotes, huge amounts of things. He even got banned for the post. They said that he was personally attacking somebody. It was a really silly thing, and then it blew up. It blew up to the point where Kotaku picked up and wrote an article about it. Because once a couple people mentioned that this was happening to them, everyone realized, wait a minute, it's not just happening to me. It wasn't that I left it face down on the couch. It was that there's actually a problem with them. So one user said that they had sent one in. They bought new ones. Those ones got damaged in less than a year. They sent those in, and now people are having to open these things up and try to repair them themselves, and that's a really detailed and difficult process. So now that there's a news article, a law firm, and has picked up, and they want to start a class action suit. So people versus Nintendo because of the faulty
Joy-Con
switches.
I don't use my Nintendo Switch anywhere near enough to see any controller wear, so I can't really,
My buddy Jacob actually has a problem with that because he had to get a new one because we were playing Mario Kart and his just kept going to the left.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty common thing that happens. And
it happened to him. Mine's fine, so I was like,
the
Joy-Con,
they're $80.
Yeah.
They're a premium controller. So if they don't last a year, like I have PlayStation 4 controllers that like Rufus got into when he was a puppy. Yeah. Like they're missing big chunks, and those things still work flawlessly like 5-6 years later.
Yeah.
How old
I don't think anybody should feel sorry for Nintendo here because they have ample time to test these controllers thoroughly. They've done many systems before where this wasn't an issue, and I know they were trying to get the Switch out there pretty quickly. Yeah. And this can apply to Gen 1s or whatnot. They can compensate people or have a better response program for that. But falling short of that, they're going to get a class action lawsuit, it looks like.
This reminded me of back when we were playing a lot of Nintendo 64, when we were playing like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. If you had the joystick moved over to the left when you turned on the system, your character would just spin in. And you're like, no, I need to restart. My character's broken. They're like, no, we have to finish the map. And it kind of reminded me of that. But that was a fixable problem, and this is something that's not. And then because of Nintendo's perfect timing, they just announced there's 2 new colors of Joy-Cons coming out when the next Switch comes out in October, and they've got blue and neon and purple and orange.
I know that's something they would never announce, but it would have been nice for them to be like, hey, and that drift issue is fixed. But if they announce that, they open themselves up to an admission of guilt.
We'll show you the Twitter link of their announcement because it's thousands of replies. Some for sane people and some for just absolutely crazy people. Like, you goddamn clowns, fix the drift issue before I buy these. And it's just
hey, man, that's where you get to do it on the internet. I get people yelling at me all the time for very minuscule stuff. So I have no sympathy.
People aren't like nice on the internet.
No.
What?
Okay.
Well, in other news with people not being nice on the internet, Fallout 76 had a big new patch to fix.
I heard about this one.
Yeah, to fix a bunch of things. And the fix, I liked the list
saga
of things.
Continues.
They wanted to fix things for new players because it was really tough for some new players. Like they changed so you can't contract diseases until you're at least level 15. Fast travel now costs fewer caps until you get hit level 25. There's a lot of early game changes. There's some things that they changed that people really don't like. At the early levels, they no longer drop Atom, which is their in-game currency that you buy with real money. No longer drops if for in like newbie zones. You get stim packs and stuff instead. So there's a trade-off, but they didn't add Atom anywhere else.
Why did they need to do that part?
I don't know. I mean, there's
no
reason.
You don't get any more currency until later.
Yeah.
When you have to deal with all this other annoying stuff, which might lead you to buy.
To pay.
There's all sorts of new things that got added into to the shop. Some of the other bug fixes they wanted to add. I actually got down this big rabbit hole because I spent a lot of time in the Fallout 76 Reddit. People complaining about some of the.
Did it make you want to play?
No, not at all. It was actually a interesting study in tribalism where there's some people that will defend absolutely anything about the game, and then there's other people like, hey, I spent $60. The game is still $60 on PC. It's not cheaper. And there's people saying, I spent $60 and this game is a dumpster fire.
That's why I'm surprised when you said new players coming in. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
must be very slow.
yeah. Which new ones? They added there's a bunch of bug fixes. I want to go over some of them important. Did you know that before Deathclaws did not drop Deathclaw hides? They were only like super rare loot that you could only find somewhere else. They fixed an in-game issue where they could cause gunfire sound to loop endlessly. So if you fired your gun, it would just play forever.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, they said they fixed it. It didn't work. It still happens. Legendary items dropped as loot by a legendary enemy will now appear much quicker in the enemy's corpse. So people used to loot a legendary. They'd see that there was no legendary loot, and then they'd leave the corpse. But if you check the corpse again, there would be like legendary items. And so people were really upset about that. Legendary creatures would also, you'd kill them, and their corpses would just disappear. And so you couldn't get legendary items.
I would be pissed.
There was a bug where if a player died and they dropped their duffel bag, you could get trapped by the duffel bag. You couldn't walk through other players' duffel bags.
It's a well-tested game.
Yeah, it was super good. And so
5 studios.
So they announced
16 times the bugs.
Yes. They're looking into issues reported after patch 11 yesterday and plan on releasing a hotfix later today. It took them a couple days, but they did. We're canceling today's live stream, and we'll speak to you in the forums on Reddit and social. Yeah. It did not go well for them on any of those places.
No.
New bugs. Tons of new bugs popped up, and some of them were really funny. There's now death zones. And it took several death zones. You walk into a zone and you die, and there's there was no explanation. And some really clever people figured out that there is an enemy attack that kind of gets stuck in the aether, and then even if the enemy dies or walks away, it just stays there. It's like this invisible cloud, and if you walk into it, it kills you. And they're like right now, you just have to like hope that it doesn't happen.
Sweet.
People walk around and their power armor disappears. It's supposed to show up in your inventory, but most of the time it doesn't. There's a bug where your head just disappears. That's actually kind of cool. Like, because you could walk around as like a headless player, and that was...
It just works.
Yeah, it just works.
It just works.
People are falling through the world now. That's always really fun.
Yeah. That people fell through the world when I did the review, so...
Nothing's fixed.
Well, the things get fixed and more bugs appear, and why? Because the foundation is rocky. The foundation is very weak, and it was created just very poorly.
There are so many ways that other games have combat something like this, where they create public test servers, and there is no public test server for Fallout.
There was $60.
Oh yeah, that is the public test server.
Yeah, boy. That's it right there. Done. New story done. But I thought that what I read is they fucking they said we're not going to add.
We're not done yet.
We're not done.
There's tons more that got added with this patch.
Fucking jeez.
Okay, so they also added something called scrap kits. And so what they've purposely done is they've bloated the game so much that there's so much crap that you pick up along the way that you need for things that you get overloaded. And you have to either go to a workbench or your stash to get rid of it. So now you can pay 70 cents. And if you pay, I think it's 50 cents. If you pay 50 cents, you get to hit a button and it sends it all to your stash every time you get overloaded with loot. What a bargain, right?
We get to pay to avoid the inconvenience that the game itself has integrated and set up.
Yeah. So that's awesome, right? There's some free stuff.
Free.
You can make these little cat topiaries. These you can make your bushes in front of your camp look like a little kitty cat. That's free for like 2 weeks. Yes. That was exciting. There's a green thumb bundle for $15. You get a greenhouse, a Deathclaw topiary. There's
Jeez, you went really in depth.
Really,
I'm not gonna look up all these pictures.
There's a fruit. I have them in here for you. You can buy a fruit hat. Like the Chiquita banana hat. It's $5. Do you want?
$5.
You want that?
I do want it, but I'm not gonna spend $5.
Well, what about a $6 for a rhododendron pantsuit?
No.
No,
go to hell. Go to hell, Bethesda. Stop it.
So the one thing they didn't get wrong in this patch is they updated their transaction page where you can buy all of this garbage.
Okay,
it works great. I looked it out. It looks amazing.
I was going to say, they did main updates on the shop.
They're
fixing the shop. It's like, we got to make sure we get the money.
People need this pantsuit. They have to have this pantsuit.
Why are you people buying this crap? What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
I think it proves that the
game
will literally buy anything, and that this will never go away.
I'm starting to believe that. And I was hoping that people were smarter. I don't know why, because I don't have faith in anybody.
Well,
but-
it could be that right now is a down time for games. June, July, August usually kind of a little lower, so people are like, let me see what this Fallout 76 thing is all about. It's got to be.
Yeah, let's check out these patches. Let me just walk dead.
Dead. Or you fall.
Fuck you, game.
You fall through the earth and you're just.
Fallout 76.
And now I know I left.
16 times the detail. I will never ever let it go. 16 times the detail. It's detailed, Alex.
It's good. I mean, there's so
Very
much
detailed.
stuff that they added that is just hilarious. And
When is the NPCs coming for it? Maybe we'll do a stream once
the
they.
Wasteland.
Oh, man.
So
Yeah.
that comes out in it's fall of this year.
All right.
And one of the worries
We'll
is
jump.
if they can't do a simple patch to fix bugs, like what
How
is
the
this?
fuck are they gonna put
What
in
is the
NPCs?
Wasteland gonna do? Where the NPCs are just gonna like explode, or they'll kill you too? It's just like you walk near them, then you explode.
We'll jump back in. I can't wait for the continuing saga of the Fallout 76.
It's gonna
it
be
would be a
super funny.
quick death.
I'll buy you a fruit hat. Like
Okay, maybe.
No, don't you fucking buy that.
Oh yeah. I won't spend real money. We'll have to farm Adam for like a year and a half to buy you a fruit hat.
Damn it.
Well, the last thing we want to talk about this week is there was an announcement, Microsoft, and the end is near. The Xbox is dying. You know, the sky is falling. Everyone's worried because no one's buying Xboxes anymore.
But they don't have games.
Well, yeah, and they also.
Well, yeah, I would buy something if they make something. That's how it works,
All right.
Alex.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. It's 100% true. Story over. All right. I mean,
There's no real big exclusives. What, Joe? You didn't play Crackdown 3?
Did you? No.
I don't, yeah. Well,
I know I didn't. I should have, but I didn't.
Yeah, we did. We fell through the cracks.
Yeah, 2019 hasn't been very good for me, but there's a reason for it, but I don't want to share it. But, it hasn't been a very good year for Xbox either.
no. Well, I mean, there's a lot of explanations, and the sky isn't falling, and people need to calm down. They announced their new system, and the same thing has happened since the beginning of the video game industry. Once you announce the new system, people stop
Sales
buying the old
of
system.
The current system
Yeah,
will drop.
plus they
did
got to
that
save
same
up
thing-
for it because we don't know how much it's going to be.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but did that same thing happen with the PS4? I guess maybe not. We don't know. Nobody's done a story on the sales of PS4, but maybe if the PS4 sales are holding, that is relevant.
Yeah, it could be.
And it is because they keep putting out exclusives. There's more exclusives coming for the PS4. Of course, there are exclusives for the Xbox, but Xbox is building for the future. There's no doubt in my mind that they've lost this current generation. They lost their way a little bit. I used to be a hardcore Xbox.
But they have Gears of War and
bot.
Gears of War.
Gears of War.
Don't you like Gears of War? They've got Gears of War.
It angers me every time I hear about Gears of War and the next Halo. Even though I am excited for the next Halo,
yeah,
I'm just not that excited for the next Gears of War. But we might go ahead and jump in just because, we review games. We got to review some of the bigger ones that come out. And right now, there's not a lot of games coming out. So I can understand a drop in sales, not only because the Xbox isn't doing so well, but because, like Joe said, there's just not really much out there right now. This is usually the dead part. We're going to pick up in August. September, I looked. It's like Broketober moved to September. So now there's September, and then Broketober's still building there. And right now, it's weird because this year in particular, the release dates for games, I couldn't find very many towards the end of the year. It's like everybody's like waiting to see, like, are you coming out? No,
We're
okay,
gonna be first.
No, you're gonna be in November 15th. That's mine.
Yeah.
So I bet you anything, like these October, November, September, they're gonna blow up with the games. Right now, there's only like one game scheduled for December, but I'm sure everybody else. Yeah, it is a rough month, but I'm sure some people will end up being in there as well. So, looking forward to the end of the year for.
Hopefully, some good stuff happens. I don't think that Microsoft is in too much trouble because I think that they know what the situation that they're in, and I don't think they're worried too much about the console sales. So. We'll just have to see.
Oh, the drop in console sales.
I mean, that was the big.
They know that they lost,
Yeah.
and that why certain things are the way they are, and I'm just looking so much forward to them coming out swinging hard and making it competitive again, because it's good for gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, that's all we got this week. Make sure that you check out some merch and like and subscribe to the video, and we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.